I want to have a conversation this morning about the Spelling Bee 2021. The finals are this weekend, and I have the founder and executive director of the Young Educators Foundation. They run the Spelling Bee, and Eugenia Tachie-Menson is my guest this morning. We're going to talk about what's happening this year. Hi, Eugenia.
Hey.
How are you?
I'm good.
It's good to have you here this morning.
Good to be here.
It's a little early.
I was just going to say I'm good but hungry.
Okay, so we need to fix this issue of, proper Ghanaian breakfast on, at 7:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
So that we sort you out some
waakye. like some slithers of waakye or diced kenkey with slices of fish.
So diced kenkey, slithers of what? Salmon?
Yeah, or
tilapia,
or mackerel.
Okay, mackerel.
Mackerel.
Okay.
Or tilapia.
Yeah.
With
samplings of some vegetables
bacon
and
you're going vegetable and saying bacon.
Anyway, so the Spelling Bee.
Yes.
2021.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think 2020 you started off the season not being in COVID and we got into COVID.
Yes.
This time round, we've been in COVID the entire time.
Right.
How has this been?
Right. I mean, it's been mostly good. It's been revealing.
Okay.
It's been challenging, but mostly good. We basically have been able to adjust, to the pandemic quicker than we had thought. So we had to just move everything online. It's a spelling program. We keep calling it a program because it just culminates into a competition. But it's 9 months.
It's actually a whole program.
It's a whole program. It's 9 months of teaching children, preparing them, getting them the resources that they need. And pre-COVID, pre the pandemic, we would literally and physically travel around the country to go to schools and communities to teach children. But with the presence of the pandemic, we've had to move everything online. And so, as I say, it's just basically opened another avenue for us in that sense, where children who were in hard to reach communities, or for one reason or the other, maybe they were not in large numbers in their community, and so we couldn't really go there. Now, because we're online, have access to the program, and so that has been very helpful.
Okay, so how have you been able to run this spellless program?
Yes, so as I say, so we take them, basically I keep saying that in Ghana we tend to confuse spelling with dictation. So dictation is where we give you a list of words.
Same thing.
Yeah, they could never be the same thing, but they are components of each other, of one in the other. Okay. So dictation has an aspect that covers spelling, and spelling has an aspect that touches.
I could have sworn in class 7. That dictation and spelling were the same thing.
Yes, I think that
Do you remember Mrs. Aban?
Do I know her? Let's not do our stuff here.
Richard School.
Yes.
Oh Lord.
Yes, but that was what we are typically exposed to in our educational system is dictation. Because spelling goes a bit beyond dictation. So dictation basically means I give you a list of words, you come back, I throw them at you, and then you give it back to me. What that does is got its benefits. So recall is one of them. You can recall quickly on your feet. The downside, which we think, which is what spelling fixes, is that it eliminates or it limits your vocabulary. So when you're doing a dictation, you will take out any words you think would confuse the child. So if you took new, so there's K-N-E-W, and there's N-E-W, and there's G and U. They all give you new. Yeah? They all give you new. So you would, in a dictation list, you would not list that for the child. Because,
It'll be confusing. It's like, okay, how do they decide what is which?
So that's what that does, again, as I say, then it limits the child's vocabulary. Whereas if you came to spelling, spelling allows for questioning, it allows for engagement. So if I said new and you asked me, can I have? What does it mean? So these are the things we take the children through.
Okay.
And this is how we also expand their vocabulary and build confidence, where people who get easily offended when we are questioned. Why are you asking me that? As opposed to just answer the question. We don't encourage children to ask questions either. So we use this program to sort of dispel all these a bit, to a large extent, archaic mindsets. And it's okay to ask questions because it makes you a better person. You understand, and it allows for critical thinking.
I like that. I think the capacity to think laterally, it's a very important thing, and a lot of that is missing.
It's almost missing.
It's missing.
Almost missing. All the way, sadly. I mean, we work at the Young Educators Foundation. We work with primary, secondary, and tertiary students, and we see that missing throughout. Because again, it's not encouraged at the primary level, and so it's all the way through.
Okay, so just as a side thing related to this, why do you think it is that asking questions is such a problem within our society?
I think that, and I'm speaking from personal experiences, so basically as a recipient of it, so as a when I was a child, and now that I'm an adult, I think it's got to do with two things. Either we're not comfortable talking about the topic, and these are queasy topics Ghanaians
so maybe we don't know enough.
No, it could just be for example, sex education.
Okay.
If a 6-year-old walks up to the parents and say, "What is sex?"
Parents
where
did babies come from?
Yes.
Where did I come from?
They begin to. So there's that.
Yeah.
That's why questions are not encouraged. Then there's the other one you mentioned, where we don't know, but we won't say we don't know. We'll just say, "Well, you asked too many questions." And then there's a third one that I noticed in our educational system, which stems from the fact that there are too many children in the classroom to be asking questions. There are too many children. There are 90 children in the classroom. I can't answer everybody's question. So
who do I start with? Okay, so nobody should start at all.
Yes, so just memorize what is on the board and take it from there. I think that these are the three key reasons we don't encourage it. And all these three can actually be addressed. We just haven't put our mind to it. If you start from the bottom, for example, there are 90 children in the class. What you can do is, again, in encouraging engagement, break them into groups of, say, 9, of 10 each. It's easier, and say, give me 3 questions in this group, and then let's listen. Maybe someone in another group can answer it.
The question,
like a lecture, like a tertiary level conversation. It can be done. It is highly important. So we tend to have, what our program ends up doing is that we end up having to do a lot more than we set out to do. So we just set out to teach you how to spell it, but we realize communication skills they're lacking so much. Communication skills, connecting the dots, that if I ask you what it means, the answer should be able to give me an idea as to where to go to. But they can ask you because we've insisted you should ask a question, and then the answer they give you is totally different. So it's a big problem.
Okay, so I know this program is a co-curricular program, but schools have been out of session. So why didn't you just cancel the program? Yes,
we got a lot of those types of questions. Suspend it, cancel it, but we thought that more so because schools have been cancelled, or as it were, schools were not in session, is why we should continue running the program. Because literacy levels across the world during the pandemic dropped significantly because nobody was reading. Children would rather watch TV. Don't get me wrong, you can improve your literacy via TV. Only you must have the foundation. And at the primary level, you don't have it at 100%. So literacy levels globally dropped. And what a better way to sustain the little they already know. What we also realized was that it was going to go a long way to help them when we knew we were going to go back to school. We will go back to life. I mean, this morning I was having a conversation with my national coach, and he kept saying, we are not in normal times. I said, we are. It's just a new normal.
It's a new normal.
Just get used to it. Let's stop saying we are not in normal times. This is our new normal. We may be doing this for the foreseeable future. So accept it, then you can work around it. So that is the main reason. We believe it will, whenever, the kids will go back to school, it's a co-curricular. So it's meant to complement what's happening in school. So if school is not happening, then you should be able to fall on that one. Because if school is not happening and that is also cancelled, then we have a big trouble on our hands.
So let's talk about this year's finals.
Sure.
What's at stake? What's happening? Walk us through.
Well,
exactly
for this year's finals, it's going to be very reflective of the new normal.
Okay.
Very reflective in the sense that it's not a public event. The spelling bee has really never been a public event, but we will normally invite a few people, but this time around we're not. We have 60 finalists and
60, wow.
60 finalists who are going to be spelling in a room by themselves. If I may say so. By themselves, as in there's nobody else going to be in the room. It's just us. They'll be masked. They'll also be wearing the face shields as well, just to make sure that we're doubly protecting them. However, when they have to spell, they will take off their mask but keep the shield on and spell. Their parents will not be in the same room with them. They'll also be put somewhere else. We're working with Ghana Police, Ghana Health Service, Ghana Ambulance to ensure that we're going through all the safety protocols.
You've thought of everything.
We've had to. You're working with children, so your sense of security is extra heightened. That is the only way parents will feel comfortable. And I must say that our parents we've worked with from the beginning of the year, well, as a 2020 to 2021, have been awesome. They've also shared some feedback, and so we've worked together in order to get to this point. The more reason I'm excited about this year's program. So one of our pronouncers is our 2010 winner.
Oh, wow.
So that was what, almost 11 years ago.
I was just about to ask you about alumni.
Yes. So David Sakyi was a 2010 champion of the spelling bee. He was about 12, 13 back then. No, 12, definitely not 13 back then. And 10, almost 11 years down the line, he's now a pronouncer with the spelling bee. That is, if that's not full circle, I don't know what it is.
That's amazing.
Yes, and then it's going to be hosted by another alumni, not of the spelling bee, but of a program that Young Educators runs, which is the Young Debaters. Caleb Kuda. Caleb Kuda was a 2011 winner of the Young Debaters. He went on to the UK to represent Ghana and did a marvelous job of it. He now works with you.
Of course, he's our colleague here.
Yes, and so he will be hosting it. So, as I say, the pandemic has really given us an opportunity to also relook at things and move things about a bit. And we are just happy. We're really happy at the Bee that we're having all these changes and all these measures which will eventually have a direct influence on the children. I keep saying that for all those who worry about the children and we shouldn't let them go out there, they are more resilient than we give them credit for. So if we just teach them what to do, they comply. They tend to comply. If you give there's the other thing where we don't explain why. I said wear a mask and end of story. No,
just wear it.
Yes.
But no kid just follows the instructions.
They tend not. It's like, I don't know why.
You have to understand
it's not comfortable.
the logic.
It's not comfortable. I don't want it. But we have to understand why. This is why. So by the time you're done explaining to them, they get it. And therefore they comply. And so we're really excited and looking forward to this year's finals. It will be transmitted live on Citi TV, on DSTV channel 363 from 1 p.m. Ghana time. And we're really hoping for the best. We have more girls than boys. Our last winner. Our last
Is this the
winner.
first time you're having more girls?
Oh no, it's been the case. We tend to have more girls.
Why do you think that's the case?
Girls typically stay through. Girls are able to, we're able to hold their interest all the way through to the end. Boys tend to lose interest or they just panic and chicken out. They panic and chicken out together with their parents. They begin to panic to their parents, so they chicken out. But the girls tend to stay through. But it never is an indication of who's going to win. It never is. It could be a boy, it could be a girl. We've had years where the girls outnumbered the boys by 3-1. And the boys still won. Yes. We've I think it was 3 years ago. 3 years ago. We had 3 boys in a row winning first, second, and third positions. So it's not an indication of anything. It's not an indication. It's just we're just happy with the kind of progress we've made.
Yeah.
You know, these children have adjusted to learning online, maneuvering a computer, going through Zoom, having to learn how to go into a private room, having download documents. They've learned all this in a space of 9 months.
Wow.
In addition to the load of information that we've given them, and we're proud of them. We're just
so will you be using any of the technology like Zoom or anything else during the competition itself?
So during the competition, it's going to be in person for all our spellers.
Okay.
They are coming from all over the country.
Okay.
So the only reason we could not opt for going online, using any of the online conferencing facilities, is that it's not data. What is it? Our online services are not that reliable in every part of the country.
Yeah,
is what we noticed.
That's
It's
true.
not reliable in every part of the country, and we wouldn't want to disadvantage any of them in that regard.
Okay.
And so then that's why, together with the consent of their parents and the team that we're working with, we agreed that their numbers are small. I mean, we're in a hall that seats about 500 people, and there's just 60 of them plus another 20 production crew. So that works for physical distancing, social distancing. And we believe that on Saturday these children are going to give off their best.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, so there are people watching right now, and they're looking at their 8 to 12?
8 to 13.
8 to 13 year olds. Okay, so they're looking at their 8 to 13 year olds and asking, well, why are you not part of this? Okay, how can they join if they want to be for next year's?
For the next year.
Yeah.
So it runs, the spelling bee runs, it's almost like technically a rolling year. So we're finishing on Saturday, and by Monday, the next session. We do this because we have to make sure they must be in school or be studying whilst this is happening. So we run, and there are about 3 different academic calendars in Ghana.
Yes.
And so we run a rolling system, and so if you're interested in participating, we tend to give a number. We will make it available on all our social media handles. The spelling bee GH on Facebook, and I can't remember the others offhand. Pardon me for now. But if you send an email to info@yefondationgh.org. YEFoundationgh.org. So that's Young Educators Foundation, but YEFoundationgh.org. If you send us an email to that number, send an email to that address. We will quickly get back to you and help you to enroll your child.
Super.
We believe that this is a program every child must have access to. It really does complement what happens in school and in life.
Okay.
Yes.
We'll just get into that a little bit in a few minutes. But who are some of the sponsors who have been on board?
And I've got to say, Kweku David. Do you use Kweku David on radio or just?
Kweku David is for radio.
Radio.
It's a different human being altogether.
So here we are.
David Kweku Sakyi.
Mr. Kweku Sakyi. So our sponsors this year, and when I say this year, I mean from 2020 to 2021, have been incredible. They've remained with us in the face of all the adversity. Budgets have been slashed and what have you not. But they stayed on the program, and I say that. I think that speaks to these businesses' position on education, and therefore enrichment programs like the Spelling Bee. And so our biggest thanks goes to all our partners. Indomie is our title sponsor, the US Embassy, DSTV. Frankie's joined us this year. Frankie's and Kenya Airways joined us this year. Ashesi University has also joined us. They're one of our partners. Rufus Green Park.
This is good news.
It's really good. It's really good. Goyle has also joined us, giving us lots of fuel, which parents will appreciate. And so.
So wrap it up for us. Any other acknowledgements?
Then our partners, yourselves, Citi TV, Citi Radio, the whole Citi Group. I guess I could call it Citi Group, Business and Financial Times. The Links is a charity program in the US that also supports us when we get to the US. And so this is really the group of support, the group of people, companies that have supported us this year, and we remain eternally grateful to them all.
Fantastic.
Yes.
Fantastic. Do we know what time it's airing?
1 p.m.
1 p.m.
1 p.m. on Saturday. Yes.
Okay. All right.
Ghana time.
All right. Fantastic. Thank you very much, Eugenia.
Thank you for having me.
Joining us this morning. We've been speaking with Eugenia Tachie-Menson, who is the founder and the director of Young Educators Foundation. They run the Spelling Bee, and this year's Spelling Bee is coming on Saturday at 1 p.m. right here on Citi TV. Whatever you're watching it, whether it's online or DSTV channel 363, make sure that you catch the bee, not the virus.